Secret Invasion set photos reveal the main characters. Upcoming Disney Plus show Secret Invasion has the potential to upend a lot of what we thought we knew about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In the comics, Elektra, Hank Pym, Captain Marvel, Mockingbird, and Spider-Woman were all revealed to have secretly been aliens for a long period of time, though obviously the MCU will choose a different set of characters to mix things up. The shoot is currently underway in the UK, with scenes being shot in London, Leeds, and Halifax. Along the way, we've gotten some glimpses of our heroes, with today's being a great look at trio Samuel L. Jackson, Kobe Smulders, and Kingsley Ben-Adir. This is a particularly interesting look for Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury, as it's far from the sleek, black-clad, and stylish secret agent we've previously seen in the franchise. Judging by his beard and clothes, he may have gone deep undercover, presumably after having learned that skrulls have infiltrated the highest levels of human society. Their long history together means Smulders' Maria Hill is probably along for the ride, though as of yet we don't know much about Ben-Adir's new character. Kevin Feige will have been planning this storyline for some time, and known well in advance which existing MCU characters are skrulls. With that in mind, it might be worth examining the last few years of movies and TV and try to spot who's been acting odd. Fan theories include General Thunderbolt Ross, Hank Pym, and Nakia, so maybe it'd be best to keep a close eye on them in upcoming appearances. Secret Invasion will premiere on Disney Plus in late 2022. Tobey Maguire reveals how it felt to suit up for Spider-Man No Way Home. Most 45-year-old men would consider squeezing into a form-fitting spandex suit and being scrutinized by millions of people their worst nightmare. This is what Tobey Maguire faced when returning for Spider-Man No Way Home, and now he's admitted that putting on a Spidey suit after 15 years away wasn't exactly easy. Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland all appeared at a roundtable on the official Spider-Man YouTube channel discussing how they felt about returning to these iconic characters, the production process, and their reflections on what it means to be Spider-Man. On getting back in costume, Maguire laughed and said, "Well, once you get through the process of peeling it onto your body, it was uncomfortable getting it on, and then it's a goof. Then it also has a sort of power because it brings me back into that character. There's so much affinity for this character, it means so much to so many people, that once the goofiness of being in lycra or spandex goes away you're like, oh wow. This is cool. This is a responsibility but a blessing, like something that I get to do that I'm grateful for. Honestly, being with these guys, it was just a much richer experience than I anticipated or that I can really even express in words." He continued, "I know that's not the question about the suit, but it's just to get to be there with these guys in their suits. Whether it was like dancing around or playing around and improving or feeling that kind of sense of service to each other and the character being in service to humanity, it really gives a certain perspective. I just felt super safe and like we were all on the same team and all in support of each other, and it just brought out this. I don't know how to put it other than just like this really loving, fun creative experience. I was sitting in gratitude every day, which is not always the case when you're working on something, and it wasn't without its challenges, but it all just unfolded the way it needed to. It had a sense of this kind of destiny to it as well. I guess the suit was the doorway to that." Since then they've spoken of a brotherhood of Spideys, celebrating that the three of them share a very unique cinematic experience. But it remains to be seen whether any of them will ever wear the suit again. Holland has announced he's taking a break from acting, though it's generally assumed he'll return to the MCU at some point. Fans have been demanding Garfield gets another shot, and many point to Sony's Venomverse needing a web-slinger. But Maguire is most likely done. No Way Home is a fine capstone to the Raimiverse trilogy and a great finale for the Maguire Spider-Man. The trio should probably now take a rest as they've more than earned it. The Batman star talks about his experience working with director Matt Reeves. As one of his oldest adversaries, Carmine Falcone has a special place in the Dark Knight's canon, which is probably why Matt Reeves has also opted to resurrect him for the Batman, with acclaimed American actor John Turturro set to portray him opposite Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne. Depending on which movie from Turturro's expansive portfolio you choose to watch, the star will either make a great mafia boss or a terrible one. That in and of itself speaks volumes about Turturro's range when it comes to acting, whether as comic relief in the Transformers franchise, a comedian in Adam Sandler's flicks, or a dramatic performer in a number of independent and serious films. With that in mind, fans are actually excited about this particular iteration of Falcone and the conflict he will add to Pattinson's already traumatized Batman. Turturro himself is also pretty thrilled to join the superhero game after all this time, as he recently discussed working with the Batman team as kind of strange, but in a great way. It was a terrific experience. I really enjoyed it, he told Comic Book during a chat. Matt Reeves was a very collaborative director, so it was great. I've really liked the comic books. I like Frank Miller, and my oldest son, Amadeo, works for DC Comics, and I'm a Batman fan. And a Zorro fan, too, before that. That was a lot of fun. It was kind of strange, but in a great way. Turturro will be joining other Batman regulars Oswald Cobblepot aka Penguin and the Riddler, so it'll be interesting to see how these villains will divide the Caped Crusader's attention between the three of them. Moon Knight directors tease their upcoming MCU debut. If you're a fan of existential genre films, made on a shoestring budget that come packing ambitious ideas and sinister undertones, then the chances are high that you're already more than familiar with the work of filmmaking duo Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. The pair have delivered acclaimed features Resolution, The Spring, Endless, and Synchronic, while they recently helmed 2 episodes of Netflix smash hit Archive 81. Next up is their first foray into superhero territory, with Benson and Moorhead wielding the megaphone on a pair of Moon Knight installments for Marvel Studios. On the surface, the arena of superhero blockbusters doesn't seem to be in their wheelhouse, but Benson explained to the playlist that there really isn't much different between DIY cinema and the big-budget realm of the Netflix or the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They really complement each other. They fulfill you in different ways, but then they're also incredibly similar. When you go onto a gigantic set, once you walk past all the trailers and the giant trucks, the craft is basically the same. You got a camera, you got actors, you have to tell people what to do, all that. The phone also isn't ringing to go do 2.5 Men. It's stuff that's kind of like what we already do. Archive 81 definitely shares DNA with the Endless and Resolution. You'll see same with Moon Knight. As pair of the independent scene's most consistent and creative writers, directors, actors, cinematographers, producers, and much more, those in the know are seriously hyped about seeing what Benson and Moorhead can bring to the MCU's table, and Moon Knight could end up serving as the launch pad to even bigger projects further down the line. Okay, stay tuned to our channel. I'll be providing you with up-to-date reliable movie news. Enjoy!